Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Sammy and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Sammy's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands. The little tiny corrections and lots of motivations that we give the pups here when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tiny tug and release on his training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Sammy's going to come home with his very own training equipment, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now, if you notice, Sammy's sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that they're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. The command is Sammy heel, and it's proper walking on a leash. So Sammy has been taught to stay on your left, walk nicely with you, not forging ahead or lagging behind. You see him looking up at Rich and focusing and paying attention. And this makes walking him a pleasure if the need arises. And when Rich stops his feet, Sammy has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. So each time that you stop your feet, if you're out for a walk, he should sit nicely, whether you're crossing traffic or talking to a neighbor. Stay. Now the next command that Rich is demonstrating is the sit stay. Now if he went to get up or drops his head, Rich immediately said no, sit, and gave that little tiny tug that we talked about. Your long sit stay can be practiced indoors as well as outdoors, and I would recommend that you practice it indoors because you want house manners. And then Rich takes off heeling with him again. He's really come a long way with us here at school, and I think you're going to be really pleased with the outcome. Great automatic sits. Rich leaves him again in another sit stay. He turns to face him, and you're going to lengthen out your time and your distance on this command. And this time, instead of returning back to him, Rich will demonstrate the come on command. And it's Sammy come, and he's been taught to come and sit in front of you and then go back to heel and back sitting. Very good job, Sammy. So this way, when you call him, he's not jumping on you, jumping on your guests, jumping on kids. He's learned to come and sit and wait for that praise for coming and doing a good job. And Rich will leave him in another sit stay, and we'll demonstrate that recall exercise again for you. He uses his name, he lightens his tone of voice. And Sammy comes right in front and sits, and then he returns to heel. So everything starts and stops at that heel position. He's such a cute guy. He's got a lot of spunk for an older gentleman. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a heel position. So with the dog always seated first, left open palm, straight down toward the ground, and the one-word command to down and stay. And you can use this with a certain spot, like in your living room, where his dog bed is. When Rich returns back again, he walks all the way around back to Sammy's shoulders. He stops when he gets to his shoulders. That's important. If you take off walking without telling Sammy what you're going to do next, he's going to go with you. So you have to remember to get those commands out. So he's sitting first, left open palm, straight down toward the ground, down and stay. Rich turns to face him, and this time he will call him out of that down stay. And you can hear Rich talking to him and telling him he's doing a good job. And it's thundering. Sammy's done an amazing job with this housebreaking as well. I know you'll be happy to hear. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a distance. So Rich is going to leave him in a sit stay. He's going to turn to face him. He's going to use his right hand to give the command and drop him into a down from a distance and give him a stay. Now we've demonstrated for you all of Sammy's formal on-leash obedience commands, and I'll be talking to you on Sunday explaining how to use those commands in your everyday living situation. He adjusted beautifully to being here. He's been a wonderful student. We all love him, and we want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company, and we'll see you real soon.